Well, ain't no need to keep swooping. Look. Shout out folks, early on, I'm not in Hobo Depot. My boy Hootie back here watching me work. There's no need for me to get these rain leaves down because, or sweep them out the way because within 20 minutes, they're gonna be worse than this. Okay, I had cleaned this spot off about an hour ago. Now this is what it looks like. That's what happened when you drink too much. Get up. Nobody told you to go out and look at you. Look at you. Party all night long. I'm gonna put this over here. Nobody told you to go out and party all night long and then come here and try to do a video. Your head all on the ground, getting dirty. Your glasses falling all off your face. Look at you. You're a hot mess. Trying to impress some girl. You clean though. You clean. I'm gonna sit you over here because you done fell in front of the camera and people ain't gonna, they gonna think I'm a bad father. But you grown. You can do what you want. That's what you told me last night. Look. Anywho, let me get this rake out of the way. Get these leaves off the bench. He been sleeping out here all morning. Shut the cock out, folks. Listen, I'm sorry about Hootie, but he went out last night and because he turned a certain age, he thinks he can go out and party now. So I let him go out and party. So today we're gonna talk about some interesting things. So first of all, let me introduce you to this is my shop base. All right, so you can take a look at it. I'm gonna tell you a little bit about it. You can tell I've been playing all this right here. And you can see there's a Ken Smith preamp in it. That's a Ken Smith preamp plate. On the back, did the custom working stuff. And it's a hobo dresser. And that little black thing right there is a tuner. So we can put that right here. All right, we'll set that right here. So I got Arrow pickups in it. Let's look at this. And this is my custom Ken Smith. I think it's a 96. Yeah, I think it's a 96. It's a 96 Ken Smith. Might be a 99. I don't know. It's all customized, so I don't know. We're gonna talk about it today. Oh, let me let you look at. I'm using my BBC cab. A lot of you folks don't know what BBC means. Boom bass cab made by a gentleman named Drew. He was out of Maryland. I don't know where he is now. But incredible cabs. And I'm using my GK NB500. A lot of people are like, you can use 500 on a boom cab? You can use what you want as long as, you know, unless you want to be extremely loud. And you want to be extremely loud, you can go up to 1,000 or 2,000. It'll take it all. So today, let's talk about I've been playing this bass. Okay, say I'm an older jet, which I am, and I have been playing a Fender Jazz pretty much all my life. And it did a lot of things for me. It helped me out through my future. Helped me in my past. It did incredible things for me recording wise. But I felt that I needed, it was passive at first, so I felt that I needed a little boost in my bass because I've been hearing it naturally all the time. You know, just a regular old jazz bass. So I put a preamp in it. So it put a battery in it. Now it's got a battery in it. And it boosts my signal up from, you know, this point to this point. And so my notes come very, very fast and very clean and very high tech. And my notes became very, very clean. And so I could do things with it. I could either take all the bass out and just have treble. I still had the option of making it, going to the rear pickup, front pickup. If I didn't want all that bass and stuff and all that treble in there, I still can get a natural bass sound by just turning the treble off and turning the bass off, and I'm back to my old passive ways. Or I can do even better. I could be playing it in detent, which is straight up for a lot of you guys, in active mode. And then I could pull this front one up and it goes back to passive. Which is the way that I normally play anyway. I just wanted to see what a preamp would do, because I'm an older cat, so I just wanted to see if it's gonna help me out down the road, because I got the big amp in the back of me. Normally when guys are 50s and 60s, they normally have the SVT in the back of them, or SWR 410 and the SWR 750 or 1200 head in the back of them, so they got power. So now they're looking at the younger cats, the younger Thundercats, and they're playing the active basses, and the basses sound clean, and they got a smaller amp. All right, smaller amp, smaller head, but they getting the same sound as my bigger amp and bigger head. Why? Well, it's a lot of things happening. We're gonna find out why. All right, first thing I'm going to tell you guys is a preamp does what it's supposed to do. It brings everything up. If your bass sounds amazing, then the preamp gonna take it up to the next level, and it's gonna still sound amazing. If your bass sounds like garbage, garbage in, garbage out. So now I'm into the active mode, so my bass is now sounding a lot more cleaner, a lot more powerful, but yet still I haven't tamed my amp down yet. I'm still playing the big SWR and the SWR 410 and 810s. I'm still playing those. You still can play those. The thing about it is, you go ahead and tone them down. All right? And are you ready for that? Now I'm talking to the older cats. Are you ready to tone down that SWR or that Ampeg SVT? Because your bass is a lot hotter now if those are different signal into your head, and your brain that you normally play with, been playing with for 40 years, is now saying, what are you doing, and what is this new thing that you put in my mouth? I don't get it, man. It don't taste good. So you've been playing this for years and years and years. So now that you have your active preamp, you're now at the point of everything is faster, everything is up in your face, everything is like this now. So you have to change your whole line of thought. The notes that you used to go for in the passive mode are now, they're now a lot more cleaner and a lot more louder and quicker. I'm used to hearing that in passive mode. Here's the passive mode. They ring longer. They ring longer, they sound deeper. But when I go into that active mode, they ring shorter and they sound a little bit lighter. Not only that, so I changed my pickups too. So the pickups I had in there, they sounded really good, but I got these new pickups in it, and now my plan is different. Not because the preamp in it, because the pickups are different. People don't know that if you put a certain pickup in your bass, that the playability of your bass changes. People are like, what? Really? The playability change? Absolutely. If you got a pickup in there that makes you work harder than what you normally do, then you're gonna play harder. If put a pickup in there that actually makes you play less harder, you're gonna play faster. And things gonna be a lot more quicker for you. Like even your thumping will get a lot faster. Because things are beginning to feel different, sound different, react different, all those things, and all you did is just change your pickups. That's all you did. And your bass began to play differently. It plays differently and it sounds differently. So we got all that out of the way. We got a smaller amp to a smaller head and a smaller cab. Does that mean I have to turn my amp on 10? I wish you guys can see what I got this amp on. Basically, everything on this amp is off. If you can zoom in, you can see that everything is pretty much off. The only thing that's up a little is the low mids, and I just turned them down because I didn't know they was up. Basically, the treble, the bass, the mids, everything like that is off. They off. Why would you turn everything off? Because I need to hear what the bass sounds like, not what the amp sounds like. And if I got a preamp on my bass now, then I need to enterprise everything from here. I said enterprise. I need to enterprise everything from here. I need to enterprise everything from here. All I want that to do is raise what I'm doing here up in the air so you can hear it, or way out there so you can hear it, or feel it. So we got this. We got the new head. We got the new cab. Well, what about the new cab? It's got a horn in it. You got a horn in you. So you're not used to a horn. So what did that horn do? That horn brightens everything up. If I take this and turn the treble, just open the treble up to about 2. The bass changes. Watch this. I turn my treble knob to 2 or to D10 and everything changes. If I turn the treble off on my bass, everything changes. What happened? Oh, I turned the treble off on my bass, but I never touched the amp. So if I need that much treble anymore, I don't have to go back to my amp. I can go right here on my preamp on my bass and make it happen. Or I can open the treble wide open and get this. Now my bass is off. All you just hearing is treble now. But how you still getting a bass roll out of there and you got treble just cracked on this thing? Well, I'm doing everything from the enterprise. You have to learn your bass to make sure you can control everything from the enterprise and not from the main station, which is 1,000 miles away. Once you start a gig, you never should have to go back to your amp to do anything, unless you have to turn it up a little bit because it's not filling your ear after you take your ears out. I said a little bit. I didn't say fill the stage up. I said turn it up a little bit where it actually, you can hear it in case your ears go bad, you can still hear your bass and you ain't got to walk back there and turn it up. That kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you get it. All right, so we got all this done. We got the 4-string, we got my 4-string, and I got a new pickups in it, a new preamp in it, and everything is wonderful. Where do we go from here? All right, we thinking about getting a 5-string. Why? Because my buddy down the street, he got a 5-string, and he haven't learned it yet, but it sounds good every time he drops down to that B. Okay, well let's venture to the 5-string and see what's going on. So we put our amp on mute. Wait. The old amps, they ain't got mute. You just have to pull them out. Look at that. So you put your amp on mute. Them the new school stuff. And we pick up the Ken Smith. Now, mind you, the Ken Smith is in the same preamp that's in this preamp, in this bass, is in that bass too. The only difference is this one don't have mids, because the bass is full of mids, because the body is mids. This one has mids, different body, different woods. Ah, now we're talking about something else. Okay, so we're gonna go to passive mode on this one, and we're gonna turn a whole new different bass, but a 5-string. I got a maple on maple neck. I got an ash body. No. Yeah, that's an ash body. It's a wider back. The bass is wider, so it gives me a more broader sound, and it gives me a more thicker sound, thicker, wider sound, more broader sound. Oh, and because the pickups are broader, they're bigger, they're humbuckers. So they're gonna sound a little bit different. They're gonna sound a little thicker. All right. So I'm now at a 5-string. Is this where I want to be? Cause I may get confused. Yeah, you will get confused if you never had a 5 in your hand and you've been playing this girl for 40-some years. So now you have to rethink. A lot of cats are like, well, I'll just take that string off and I still have a 5-string, but I'll take this string because it's confusing me. My thing is to you is, if it's confusing you that much, stay home with it for a couple of weeks, maybe 2 months, to get to know where everything is. Normally you play this bass and you don't have to look down. This one, you gotta look down. Why? First of all, it's a bigger neck. Second of all, it's another string right there. And what's gonna happen there? Bass gonna get confusing, because I know this is a G right here, and this is too, and this is too. So what is this right here? Oh, it's the 5 of the G. Get it, I get it. So I go deeper if I get on this thicker string. Yeah, but I wouldn't buy a 5-string if I never played one and get one and take it out the next same day or the next day. Why? Because you're gonna look good to a lot of your buddies that just found out you bought a 5, but you're gonna sound crazy to a lot of other people who don't know you. If a lot of people are used to you playing this 4-string, they're gonna listen for this first. This is gonna change their ear. And if you look at the other videos that I did, how a different bass changed the attitude of your band, this will do it. Is it good? It could be good, it could be bad. Bad part is they're not used to that sound. If you playing this bass and this bass has a certain sound, and you shock them with this bass on the next night, by surprise, they're gonna play a little different. I'm just saying. But would you sound good? Or no, you look good because you got a Ken Smith. Where's Hootie? He mad because I'm talking about that. You shouldn't went out and drunk last night. Look, or drank. All right, so now you got a bass with extra knobs. You got a volume knob, and then you got a blend knob. That's a volume, that's a blend. Then you got a treble knob. Oh, and a bass knob. That's a treble and that's a bass. They're on the same stack. But this one is separated. Now that's gonna get me thinking too. And I got a mid knob. What's a mid knob? Mid means I have to go inside that certain control on my Enterprise and pull out the body of this bass, or take the lessing of the bass that's left over and pull it up and make it do other things. I didn't know mid do that. Yeah, it does. Whatever your bass left behind, the mids will go get it and bring it up. Oh, I just told myself something, and I may just told you something too. All right, so here we go. So in passive mode on this bass, it sounds incredible. This is the bass, to me, of the future and the past. This is the past hit maker right here. The Ken Smith is a past hit maker. Definitely in the gospel field. It made so many hits in the gospel field, it's ridiculous. Like in the early 80s, no, let's go 90s. In the early 90s, this bass showed up on the gospel field and took it over. I mean, cats who never even played 5 strings and stuff like that was running out and get a Ken Smith on the gospel scene, and they was killing with it, killing. Even on the R&B scene, they was killing with Ken Smith, and I'm like, wow, man, that what kind of bass is that? A bass that a lot of people couldn't afford, but when they got their hands on it, their whole plan changed. Not just the pickups changed their mind, not just the preamp changed their mind, the dynamics of the bass changed their mind, and that little S on top. You knew that if you had one of these in your hand, you can't come on stage looking crazy or either sounding crazy. You knew you had to have your stuff together. That was the old 90s, and this was the talker of the town. I said talker of the town, and basically it was. All right, so now you change the 5 string. Should I leave my 4 and go to my 5 because Uncle Bubba got a 5 and he plays in church? The way things are now, it really don't matter with the 4 or 5, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because everything is in ear now, okay? And most people are taking a 4 string and drop them down. Ask Reggie Parker. Reggie Parker drops his down, and he plays a 4, and he's a beast of a beast. He's also a good friend. But I seen that boy do things on Hezekiah Walker album that's unbelievable on a 4 string. Does he need a 5? Can he play a 5? Absolutely. I seen him with a Ken Smith 5, but that was years ago. That's when Reggie back up in the day. But when he picked that 4 up, his whole demeanor changed. That's like when some people put down a 4, pick up a 5, their whole demeanor changed. Your whole demeanor changes when you get into something like this. Either you're gonna learn how to play it, or you're gonna overplay everything. Why? Because you got that other 5, that other string. You got that other string, and that thing drops down. And the tone of this thing is unbelievable. It's like, some people call it a one-trick pony. I call it the best pony with the best trick. Look, that's just me. It's the best pony with the best trick. And nobody else can do that trick like this pony. So you wouldn't call it a one-trick pony? I call it the best pony with the best trick. Now, because I got this 5 doesn't mean that my 4 should stay in the house. No. In fact, back up in the 80s and 90s, 70s and 80s and 90s, I'll go that far back in 70s. A lot of studios would prefer you to bring this bass over this one. Why? Because this one has more power. It sounds differently when it goes to the mix. This is a warm, very boisterous sounding bass. It's very round sounding. A lot of people are not used to the sound of this bass, but a lot of people know the sound of this bass. When it comes to this bass, the Fender Jazz, or the Jazz bass, it is so well known, even from the 50s, right? It's the most well-known sound in the world. So, what does that mean? It means that, you never get rid of your 4. For those who always who prefer to jump on a 5 to learn how to play bass, I shake your hand. But you'll never know what a 4 sounds like, and you'll never know how incredible meat and potato sounds like coming from a 4 string. Is it a different animal than a 5? Absolutely. This is a whole different animal. With this animal, you can't cheat. With this animal, you can cheat. You can cheat because it has another string. And the other string has what, 7 more notes? Woo, you all over the place right now. And you always doing this. You're always dropping down to that low. You're always dropping down to that low. And a lot of times when you're doing a session, you're doing session work that really doesn't call for a 5, you're going to always drop down and it's going to sound differently. People don't understand that on mixes, this bass, when you drop down, that's a whole new that's a different galaxy. The moment you hit this note, that's a whole new different galaxy. And you can hear it on tape. You can hear it. Unless you start out the song like this. Okay? You start out low, and then you keep it low, and then you can go high. Sometimes it's better to go low and then high than high. And I think as a 5-string player, you have to understand where your music is. Like how was it written? Was it written to start low first and then go high? Or was it written for a normal 4-string and you have to actually make this bass fit? Just because you got a 5 and you can drop down doesn't mean it's pretty. Ooh, I just said something that he may like. Just cause a bass line is written for a 4 and you get the opportunity to drop down every note doesn't mean it's pretty. It just means that you're taking us to another dimension and we can hear it. The coolest thing about a 5-string, a 6-string, and a 7-string is that you know how to pick and choose when to drop or when to go from bottom to top. Ooh, that was ministry for me. It's not how many times you drop down. That's what the crazy thing about it. It is not how many times you drop down. It's never that. It's how many times you don't drop, and when you do drop, it's scary. But it's so amazingly scary that it's amazing. It doesn't make any sense. Like you playing a song, and then the song really don't take a 5 or 6, and then all of a sudden you playing. Now see, I can hear that, but not every time. It's like surprisingly. To me, a 5 a 5 is a surprising instrument. It's so flavorable. It's so flavorable. But I think a lot of the older cats don't know what flavorable means. They know what it means on this bass, but not on this bass. And so I just wanted to bring these points off today because man, I just felt this in my spirit today to tell you guys about the 4s and the 5. I should be telling because you're all professionals, but for those who's starting off, I want you to understand that changing from here to here is a whole different attitude. It's a whole different world, and you have to know when you're changing, when you're playing. You have the Enterprise, USS Enterprise. This is your USS Enterprise right here, not this. This is your after voice. This is what you want. You want them out there to hear. You want this to make them hear what you're doing here. That's all it is. You want people out there to for them to hear what you're doing from here, not from here. All right? Because I'd rather hear my bass than to hear my amp. And in your ears, it's pretty much that way. You learn your bass. You learn your bass in your in-ear. In ears, you learn your bass, what your bass sounds like. And a lot of people don't like it because they found out what their bass really sounds like, and they're like, I don't like that. Turn the amp up. That ain't gonna help. That's what it's still in your ear. So once again, guys, I just want to bring this by today. Plus, I wanted y'all to see that Hootie went out drinking last night, and the results of him falling at the beginning of the video. Once again, guys, my name is Johnny Lee Long. Keep praying for the Queen and I. Keep praying for the Hobo Depot, y'all. Times are changing, and things are happening in the world that we can't control. We can't control, but they're happening anyway. And a lot of people are afraid, and a lot of people are still, calling me and wanting to talk things through, their issues and stuff like that. And that's cool. That's what we're here for. The Hobo Depot is a watering hole. That's what it is. It's a healing watering hole. So you guys got something to talk about, you can call. Young ladies, you can call. All y'all can call. It don't matter. We all base brothers and sisters, so we can talk about things. Another thing is, I want you guys to keep every morning I pray for you guys. I don't miss a morning. At least my intention is not to miss. Now, you know, there are some times that I may get caught by the light of day, but I'm steady praying for you guys, because I want you guys to get up, open your eyes up. A lot of you, I want everybody to open their eyes up, but I want everybody to be safe that whole day, and your family safe the whole day. That's why I pray for you guys. Keep praying for the Hobo Depot that we will remain watering hole, and keep praying that customers will still keep coming to the Hobo Depot. And definitely keep praying for the Queen and I. Once again, guys, I gotta go. Shut the cock out, Johnny Lana, Hobo Depots. I'm not in Hobo Depots. Let me get Hootie, because he's not gonna be able to walk over here, y'all. Okay, come on, Mr. I can drink, because I'm 21 now. Say you sorry. You sorry that you failed in the beginning of the video? Are you going drinking again? You sure? So you going drinking again? You're not? You are? What are you saying? Go sit down. That's what you need to do. Go sit down.